day, my beloved students. How are you? I hope you are okay. Are you ready to have our sentence construction and language learning? Great! Let's begin our learning quest. I am Teacher Jericho Irgistan, but you can call me Teacher Echo, and I will be with you every step of the way. Yesterday, we learned about different types of conjunctions. Can you tell me what they are? Correct! We learned about coordinating, subordinating, and correlative conjunctions. In a short period of time, yesterday we tackled about coordinating conjunctions. Today, we will learn about comma placement and subordinating conjunctions. Wait a minute, let's have a quick review. Did you still remember the meaning of coordinating conjunctions? Very good! Coordinating conjunctions is a conjunction which makes a connection between two parallel words, two parallel phrases, and independent clauses. So at this point in time, I will be giving all of you a quotation for our motivation. If you are willing to do more than you are paid to do, eventually, you will be paid to do more than you do. So it seems that this quotation will be very interesting for all of you as a future English teacher because you are exerting a lot of efforts in order for you to make your dreams come true. And I know that all of your efforts, hard works, and sacrifices will be paid off in the future. Okay, moving forward to our topic for today. The assignment that I gave you was to use these coordinating conjunctions in sentences. Let us check and see how these coordinating conjunctions that I gave you can be used in sentences. Directions. Compose your own sentences using these coordinating conjunctions. The coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, yet, and otherwise. Number 1. And. Nathan and Echo went the beach. Number 2. But. Yuan finished the requirements on time, but Leonard is not. Number 3. Or. Sleep now or you will miss the class tomorrow. For the number 4. Yet. Life is full of troubles, yet none wants to die. And the last number 5. Otherwise. Give all of your best, otherwise you will be left out of the team. I know that you did your best to compose sentences using coordinating conjunctions that I gave to you. Now, if you are experiencing problems in writing complex sentences, this is now your time to learn because our topic is all about comma placement and subordinating conjunctions. Do subordinating conjunctions ring a bell to you? If you can remember, we learned that subordinating conjunctions can be used in writing complex sentences. This time, we will learn how to write sentences with subordinating conjunctions, not just to express the cause and effect relationship, but also to express what we think and how we feel. A complex sentence is formed by adding one or more subordinate or dependent clauses to the main independent clause using conjunctions and or relative pronouns. A complex sentence is a sentence with one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. Complex sentences are easy to spot as they often use subordinating conjunctions like because, since, or until to connect clauses. However, an independent clause is a clause that can stand by itself as a simple sentence. It contains a subject and a predicate and makes sense by itself. On the other hand, a dependent clause is a group of words that contains a subject and verb but does not express a complete thought. Now that you know the meaning of complex sentence, independent clause, and dependent clause, we will now work on developing your sentence writing skills using comma and subordinating conjunctions. Our lesson for today is all about composing clear and coherent sentences considering comma placement and using subordinating conjunctions. But first, let me give you our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to define the meaning of conjunctions and its uses in a sentence, exemplify the placement of comma to construct a sentence, and explain the types and examples of subordinating conjunctions. It seems that we will be doing a lot of things today, right? There's no need to worry at all. As long as you are with Teacher Echo, I will do my best to guide you and to share my knowledge through our lesson for today. But first, let us find out what you can still remember about our previous lesson. Let us have a language review. Number 1. It is a sentence with one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. If your answer is a complex sentence, you are right. Number 2. It is a clause that can stand by itself as a simple sentence. What do you think is the answer for this one? Very good. It is independent clause. For number 3, it is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb but does not express a complete thought. That is right. It is a dependent clause. For number 4, it is a word or phrase that links a dependent clause to independent clause. What do you think is the answer for number 4? Correct! It is subordinating conjunctions. And number 5, it is a punctuation mark that appears in several variants in different languages. If your answer is a comma, you are right. How did you feel with the review questions? You know what? These questions are engaged with how much learned from our previous lessons. If you got a perfect score, congratulations because you understand our previous lesson. But if you got more than 2 mistakes, do not be discouraged. I will be helping you to understand these concepts better. So first, what is conjunction? In grammar, a conjunction is a part of speech that connects words, phrases, or clauses that are called the conjuncts of the conjunctions. As we all know, there are 3 different types of conjunctions: the coordinating, subordinating, and correlative conjunctions. Each type of conjunctions connects clauses in a different way. Since each type of conjunctions connects clauses in a different way, and I know that we are done for the first type or the coordinating conjunctions, let us now look into the second type, the subordinating conjunctions. In contrast to an independent clause, a dependent clause, also known as a subordinate clause, is a group of words that contains subject and verb but cannot stand a complete sentence on its own. A dependent clause does not express complete idea, that is why it must be attached to an independent clause. For example, because I woke up late this morning, I went to school without eating breakfast. Did you see the mistake in the first sentence example? Very good. As you can see, period is not necessary unless you have to put a comma. Did you now understand the importance of comma placement? That is right. Because I woke up late this morning, comma, I went to school without eating breakfast. I woke up late this morning is an independent clause, but the subordinating conjunction because turns it to a dependent clause. Because I woke up late this morning does not contain a complete ideas or thought. That is why it must be joined to an independent clause to form a grammatically correct sentence. So as you can see in the second example, the use of comma or the considering comma placement is the most important thing in constructing sentence. Before we discuss the different classes of subordinating conjunctions, let us first talk about the punctuating subordinating conjunctions. When a subordinating conjunction follows an independent clause, a comma is often not necessary. In general, when the dependent clause contains essential information about the independent clause, don't use a comma. See? It is important to know if comma is essential in constructing sentences. Comma is not necessary if the subordinating conjunctions follows an independent clause. For example, she will receive a major bonus if she succeeds in closing the corporate partnership deal. Do you think comma is necessary in this sentence? No. She will receive a major bonus if she succeeds in closing the corporate partnership deal. So as you can see, comma is not necessary in this sentence example because the subordinating conjunctions is if and it follows the independent clause, she succeeds in closing the corporate partnership deal. Did you get my point? Very good! Okay, moving forward to another example. However, when the subordinating conjunction comes at the beginning of the sentence, use comma at the end of the dependent clause. For example, if she succeeds in closing the corporate partnership deal, she will receive a major bonus. As you can see, comma is not included in the first example. The second example is, if she succeeds in closing the corporate partnership deal, she will receive a major bonus. Did you see the difference? That is right! Subordinating conjunctions that fall in the middle of a sentence are generally not preceded by a comma. This is the opposite of what is done with coordinating conjunctions or words that join two independent clauses. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, and sometimes so. This is another example. When a subordinate clause begins a sentence, however, the whole clause but not the subordinating conjunction itself is followed by a comma. For example, whenever Batman was away, Robin drove the Batmobile. Do you think it's a correct sentence? No. This is the correct example. Whenever Batman was away, Robin drove the Batmobile. Did you understand the comma placement in constructing sentences? Very good! So now, let's talk about the semantic categories of subordinating conjunctions. As demonstrated, conjunctions can bring different layers of meaning to writing by building relationships with different clauses. Let us now familiarize with different examples of subordinating conjunctions by writing them out. Let us have our spelling time. Number 1, time. Once again, time. Number 2, concession. I'll say that again, concession. Number 3, comparison. One more time, comparison. Number 4, cause. I'll repeat, cause. Number 5, condition. Once again, condition. Number 6, place. I'll say that again, place. Check your answers one more time. Do you think you spelled all the words correctly? Let us check. Number 1, time. T-I-M-E. Time. Number 2, concession. C-O-N-C-E-S-S-I-O-N. Concession. Number 3, comparison. C-O-M-P-A-R-I-S-O-N. Comparison. Number 4, cause. C-A-U-S-E. Cause. Number 5, condition. C-O-N-D-I-T-I-O-N. Condition. Number 6, place. 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 I know that you spelled all the words correctly because you are now at the secondary level and those are just simple words. Remember these 6 main classes of subordinating conjunctions categorized by meaning. They are going to be helpful as we learned how to use subordinating conjunctions in sentences. A subordinating conjunction is a word or phrase that links to a dependent clause to an independent clause. These words or phrases indicates that a clause has informative to add to the sentence main idea, signaling a cause and effect relationship and shift in time and place between the two clauses. These types of conjunctions includes words like because, if, although, since, until, and while. A subordinating conjunctions is used to introduce a dependent clause. You might be wondering what conjunctions fall into the 6 main classes: time, concession, comparison, cause, condition, and place. To know that, let us have some wordplay. For our wordplay today, let us learn and understand the different types of subordinating conjunctions from its main classes and categories. Help me steer the words or letters to identify the jumbled conjunctions. Number 1, what conjunction do you think it is? That is right, after. How about this one? Correct, even though. Can you figure out this conjunction? Very good, in contrast to. For the next one, what conjunction do you think it is? You are amazing! Because. How about this one? Do you know what it is? That is right! Unless. We are down to our last jumbled word. What do you think it is? Wow! You got it! Wherever. Thank you for helping me identify the jumbled conjunctions. Using the wheel of words or letters, you will be able to identify the 6 subordinating conjunctions. The conjunctions that you identified are after, even though, in contrast to, because, unless, and wherever. Each of these conjunctions are using differently depending on the type of information expressed in the sentence. The information can be the 6 main classes of subordinating conjunctions that we spelled a while ago: time, concession, comparison, cause, condition, and place. Now, can you identify the purpose of these conjunctions when they are used in sentence? Let's try! Directions. Identify the purpose of the conjunctions as used in the sentences. Number 1. Ellen bragged about the results of the political meeting in contrast to her arch-enemy who merely bragged. What is the conjunction in the sentence? That is right! In contrast to. What do you think is the purpose of this conjunction based on how it is used in the sentence? Correct! The purpose is comparison. Similarly, comparison conjunctions, which includes just as, though, whereas, in contrast to, and while, it helps to establish correlations by providing context for comparison. For number 2, I will place my conjunction in the sentence wherever I please. For this sentence, what do you think is the conjunction? That is right! Wherever. How do you think wherever is used in the given sentence? Yes, because of the purpose of place. Place conjunctions which determine where activities might occur include where, wherever, and whereas. For number 3, I finish my final requirements early because we have a family outing. Can you identify the conjunction for number 3? Very good! Because. Now, choose the purpose of because from the choices. That's spot on! The answer is cause. Because cause conjunctions illuminates the reasons that the activities of a main clause were performed and are commonly engineered using as, because, in order that, since, and so that. I finish my final requirements early because we have a family outing. In this sentence, we know the reason why he finished the final requirements early. Number 4, I will do the dishes after everyone has gone home. What's the conjunction in the sentence? You identified it well. It is after. How is after is used in the sentence? You got it right. After is used to state time. Time-related conjunctions establish a period when the main clause will be or was performed. This include after, as soon as long as, before, once, still, until, when, whenever, and while. For example, I will do the dishes after everyone has gone home might be stated by a hostess who prefers to enjoy her guests' company while they are there. Number 5. Nathaniel wrote a narrative report even though it was assigned to the class president. Identify the conjunction in the sentence. Nice job! It is even though. How is even though function in the sentence? You are correct. Even though is a concession conjunction. Concession conjunctions help to redefine the main clause by providing additional context regarding conditions of delivery. Concessions conjunction highlight an action that took place in spite of an obstacle or hindrance, and they include although, as though, and even though. For the last number 6. I will not go to party unless I have new clothes. What do you think is the conjunction in the sentence? You got it right. Unless. How do you think unless function in the sentence? Very good. Unless is a condition conjunction. Condition conjunctions introduce rules under which a main clause performs. These are indicated by even if, in case, provided that, and unless. The 6 subordinating conjunctions that will be used in the sentence earlier are not the only subordinating conjunctions used in the English language. As we all know, there are a lot of subordinating conjunctions according to their purpose. Did you now understand our lesson? Very good! We can now move forward to our individual activity. Let us see if you can now use subordinating conjunctions appropriately in the following sentences. Directions. Use the following subordinating conjunctions in the sentence. Number 1. I will play my favorite online game even though, after, so that I finish my schoolworks. What do you think is the conjunction for number 1? Very good. After. Because the sentence expresses the time of ideas. Number 2. The provincial governor distribute relief goods because, since, if, there are many victims of the typhoon. What do you think is the conjunction for this one? That is right. Because. Because explains the cause or reason why the provincial governor distribute a relief goods. For number 3, I will do my responsibilities as a student leader if, even though, because there is no reward. What do you think is the best conjunction for number 3? You are right. Even though, because the sentence expresses the contrast of ideas and it was part of concession conjunction. Number 4, Jason chooses the rich kid role in their role playing so that, after, in contrast to his best friend. What do you think is the conjunction for number 4? You are amazing! In contrast to, because the sentence is all about comparison. For the last number, I always bring my vaccination card where, because, wherever I go. What do you think is the conjunction for last number? You are right. Wherever, because the sentence occurs the place conjunction. And that concludes our discussion about comma placement and subordinating conjunctions. Did you understand our lesson for today? Very good! I know that you did your best to follow and understand the discussion. Now, let us move forward to the evaluation part. Please ready your pen and paper for your 15 items quiz. This includes true or false, identification, and essay type of exam. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. A conjunction is a word that is used to connect words, phrases, and clauses. That is true. Number 2. A subordinating conjunction is used to introduce an independent clause. That is false. Number 3. There are 7 semantic categories of subordinating conjunctions. Do you think is it true? No, this is false. There are only 6 semantic categories of subordinating conjunction. Number 4. Comma is not often necessary when the subordinating conjunction comes at the beginning of the sentence. This is also false because comma is necessary. For number 5, independent clause is a clause with 2 specific qualities. Do you think is it true? No, it is also false. For the identification, this type of conjunction includes words like because, if, although, since, until, and while. If your answer is subordinating conjunctions, you are right. Number 7. It is a punctuation mark that appears in several variants in different languages. That is right. It is a comma. For number 8, this conjunction helps to redefine the main clause by providing additional context regarding conditions of delivery. What do you think is the answer for number 8? You are amazing! It is concession. For number 9, it determines where activities might occur. What do you think is the answer for number 9? You got it right. Place. For number 10, this conjunction illuminates the reasons that the activities of a main clause were performed. What is your answer for number 10? Very good. This is cause. For the essay type, in your own opinion, what are the benefits of understanding the comma placement and subordinating conjunctions for you as a future grammar teachers? Explain your answer in a minimum of 5 sentences. For the essay type, I know that you did your best to answer the questions correctly. I will be considerate to all of your answers because of your different perspectives. If there is something that you didn't understand about the lesson, do not be discouraged. By giving you our assignment for today, I know that it will measure your writing and speaking skills. For your assignment, kindly create a video presentation explaining the 6 semantic categories of subordinating conjunctions. You may also include examples of each category. The video is maximum of 5 minutes and the deadline will be next meeting. Any questions so far? If there are no more questions, that concludes our language journey for today. Always remember, Learning a language is like a voyage of discovery. Set a course, take a heart, exert effort, and have passion. That makes you easy to learn and understand the language. See you again to our next topic. Bye!